improved version of Vauxhall's third generation Movano shares everything with its Peugeot, Citroen, Fiat and Toyota badge engineered large LCV cousins, so it's natural that it also shares their recently much enhanced full battery drivetrain too, which is what has brought us the first really credible Movano electric model, an alternative to the ordinary diesel variant for forward-thinking businesses.
Vauxhall's biggest EV van, the Movano Electric, has improved, and here we're going to tell you how. In the industry's race to develop and normalise full electric vans, the biggest potential environmental gains are to be made in the switch away from combustion power for the largest LCVs, but big vans need big operating ranges, and to date, EV technology simply hasn't been able to provide that. Things, though, are gradually changing. To get a feel for that, take a look at the model we feature here, the improved version of Vauxhall's Movano Electric. It was originally launched back in 2020, then called the Movano E, when the Griffon brand's biggest van switched over to the shared design already used by Peugeot, Citroen and, in a slightly different form, by Fiat. At original launch, the all-electric Movano had a 70 kilowatt-hour battery, then graduated to a 75 kilowatt-hour unit. In late 2023, though, a more far-reaching upgrade saw it gain a much bigger 110 kilowatt-hour battery, which is the version that we're looking at here. To find out more, you'll need the usual comprehensive car and driving road test. Now, if you've dismissed the Movano Electric in the past on the basis of its feeble operating range, it's time to think again, because it now uses a big Stellantis derived 110 kilowatt-hour battery, which can take this LCV up to as much as 262 miles, around 105 miles further than the previous generation 75 kilowatt-hour model, and that's a massive improvement. It powers an electric motor putting out 279 PS, although you only get that with the fastest of the three available drive settings. Power, the default normal mode restricts it to 220 PS, while the eco setting that you'll need to get anywhere near the quoted driving range restricts you to just 165 PS. Depending on your chosen variant, top speeds restricted to between 56 and 81 miles an hour. That's the lowest figures of any vehicle we've ever tested, but there is a gutsy 410 Newton meters of torque, and 62 can be reached in around 10 seconds, so it doesn't actually feel particularly slow. There are 4 selectable levels of brake regeneration available here, which are operated by paddles behind the steering wheel. Do bear in mind that, as usual with EV vans, the range figure will drop off quite a bit if you've got a full load out back. This EV model's underfloor battery positioning results in a low centre of gravity, improving cornering and stability even when it's fully loaded. The electric power steering now automatically adjusts the assistance to the speed of this vehicle. This increases driving comfort at higher speeds, and it makes manoeuvring in the city much more comfortable. There's now an electric parking brake that's activated via a switch on the instrument panel to the right of the steering wheel. With all Movanos, the way that this van drives does show its age a little, but this van is light by segment standards, and that helps it to feel quite agile, and it feels wieldy in town with supple suspension, light steering and a relatively tight 12.6 metre turning circle. There's no doubt that the range of drive assist systems has been dramatically improved. If you've ticked all the right options boxes, the combination of adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist and the newly added traffic jam assist enables this Vauxhall to steer, brake and accelerate itself at speeds of up to 18 miles an hour, for example in slow traffic, providing that the driver's hands remain on the steering wheel. This means that automated driving at level 2 is now possible with this Movano for the first time in its career. If your Movano is going to be used on slippery tracks, you can specify it with a worksite heavy pack, which adds a traction system and double leaf rear suspension. As for towing, well, you might be surprised to find that this Movano Electric can now handle a braked towing capacity of up to 2,400 kilos. This isn't a completely new Movano under the skin, but Vauxhall wants you to think it is, hence the new grille and bumper introduced as part of this update. The grille of this electric version features an active grille shutter to improve the aerodynamics. Flanking this appendage are headlamps that are also new and can optionally feature LED beams. Unfortunately though, there's no longer the useful bumper step, which used to be provided on earlier versions of this design, so you could more easily get up to clean the screen. The sheer size of this Movano varies between three vehicle lengths, between 5,413 mils and 6,363 mils. We've got the mid-level L3 version here, which is 5,998 mils long. This Vauxhall rides on either 15 or 16-inch wheels, and there are new rim and trim designs as part of this facelift. The height of the bluff rear end varies between the three available heights. We've got the mid-level H2 version here. The high-level stoplight is well out of harm's way. The key differences though lie inside, so let's take a look. Climb up into the cabin, you'll find the designers done their best to disguise the basic age of this design's interior architecture by revising the look of the dashboard and fascia around modern era central infotainment screens. Mind you, the amount of screen tech that you actually get does depend quite a lot on whether you've paid the extra for an electrified powertrain here. This Movano Electric and its hydrogen-powered stablemate, they do get this new 7-inch digital instrument cluster here and the bigger central screens too. Let's start with the 7-inch display you view through the steering wheel. It's a screen which is optional on the diesel version. This is based around a central speedometer, which is flanked on this electric model by a power meter and also by a gauge for battery charge. You can vary what you see in the middle of the screen though. Trip computer, drive assist and audio settings, plus it can also show full screen mapping. Everything else though that you'll know about will be on this central monitor, which grows from 5 inches in the diesel versions to 7 inches for the electric model and 10 inches for the hydrogen version. The latter big screen is an option with the other powertrains too. Whatever kind of central screen you have, the most important functions can now be controlled via now improved natural speech recognition, and compatible smartphones will now connect in wirelessly via Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so it shouldn't matter too much that navigation, a TomTom 3D system, only comes as standard on the hydrogen model. This redesigned display is a big improvement on what was offered previously. You can scroll through lower screen audio, phone and vehicle menus, plus navigation if it's been fitted, and there's a dedicated electric vehicle section for this EV model. You sit commandingly and the driver's seat is very comfortable with 6-way adjustment, lumbar support and an armrest, although there is no option for the kind of sophisticated multi-sprung seat that you could have in a rival Volkswagen Crafter. As you'd expect, this Movano features a dual passenger seat, and as usual in this class of van, with the right option box ticked, the backrest of the central seat that can fold down to create a work surface with a pen tray and a couple of cup holders. A digital rear view mirror, that's now available too, as is a 360-degree camera system. As you'd expect in a large van, there's plenty of in-cab storage. Some of the stowage areas aren't much use, like the shallow cubbies on the dash top or the one that's right next to the electronic handbrake. But there are no fewer than 3 levels actually of stowage in the doors, and you also get 2 glove boxes, a lidded one on the dash top and a rather small lower one below this open stowage area in front of the passenger. A stowage cubby has been added under the ventilation control panel, and this can accommodate a wireless charging mat if you've paid extra for that. This upper central cup holder has both USB-A and USB-C ports and a 12-volt socket nearby, and there's a tray with 2 more cup holders and some stowage areas in between. You'll also get ticket clips in the sun visor and a coat hook on each B-pillar. Disappointingly though, you have to pay extra for an overhead shelf, which is 22 litres in size, and also for under seat storage. Prices, as you'd expect, are much the same as those being charged for the Citroen Relay, the Peugeot Boxer, the Fiat Ducato and the Toyota Pro-Ace Max models that share this Vauxhall's engineering. As we filmed in early 2025, the Movano Electric was being offered from just over £47,000 after grant deduction, excluding VAT. That's a saving of well over £11,000 compared to the outgoing model, despite the additional benefits of this updated model's larger battery and more powerful electric powertrain, plus its upgraded interior and its more advanced driver assist systems. As before, this Movano comes with a wide range of panel van body styles. With the electric model, you can't get the shortest body length or the lowest roof height. Let's talk about spec, now much improved as part of this update. There's only one trim level, Prime, but it includes most of what you'll need, specifically a side-loading door, rear parking sensors, keyless entry, powered heated door mirrors, a perimeter alarm and cruise control with a variable speed limiter. Inside there's manual air conditioning, an electric parking brake and a 6-way adjustable driver's seat with lumbar support and an armrest. The electric and the hydrogen models get a 7-inch digital instrument cluster too. This central screen is 7 inches in size with this electric version. It includes wireless Apple CarPlay and also Android Auto, and it works with a global telematics box for fleet data monitoring. There's also the brand's Vauxhall Connect smartphone app, and that allows operators to interact with the van when they're away from it. The app allows access to information like nearby charging stations, plus there's Vauxhall's eCall and BCall technology, where in the event of an emergency or a breakdown, drivers are put in touch with a trained advisor with just the touch of a button. What about key options? Well, there's lots you can add, of course. Key extra features include a second sliding side door, 270-degree opening for the rear doors, the Eat and Work bench seat with its fold-out middle seat table and a spare wheel. You might also want the Techno Plus pack. This upgrades the central screen to 10 inches in size, gives you extra charging ports and a wireless phone charger. Plus, it includes a 7-inch digital instrument screen on the diesel models. Various other options allow you to add a wireless phone charger, and a 230-volt cargo area socket is available too, which ideally you'd order as part of the cargo pack. That also includes 270-degree opening for the rear doors and a central LED cargo area light. You might want to look at adding a tow bar, a speed limiter and a tachograph. There's a single passenger seat option too if you don't want the standard 2-person bench. And now if you regularly deliver to building sites, then you really might want the worksite heavy pack. This will give you traction plus traction control, double leaf rear suspension, a spare wheel and wheel arch mouldings. Owner drivers, they might want a style and visibility pack. This adds 16-inch alloy wheels, painted bumpers and full LED headlamps with high beam recognition. They might also possibly want the premium cab pack too. That adds a leather steering wheel. It also gives you chromed air vents, a compartment under the driver's seat and a digital rear view camera. That latter is also available separately. On to safety provision. Now, it wasn't long ago that all you got with the Movano was a driver's airbag and passive safety stuff. Now there are double passenger airbags, advanced emergency braking, a lane support system, driver drowsiness detection and traffic sign recognition, which drives an intelligent speed assist system. If you have a tow bar fitted, then a trailer stability control system will be fitted too. As usual, there are lots of the familiar systems for traction, braking and stability control, with the latter ESC system now featuring crosswind assist, which works at over 40 miles an hour to stabilise this high-sided vehicle in crosswinds. With regard to safety provision, you can of course go a lot further than that. Vauxhall says a total of 22 possible assistance systems and electronic helpers are now available on this Movano to make driving and manoeuvring easier. An optional City Plus pack includes a blind spot information system, rear cross path detection, 360-degree parking sensors and a digital rear view mirror. Also available is parking assist, a moving off information system and adaptive cruise control with a stop and go function. You might also want to look at the post-collision braking system, and you can add front side airbags and window airbags too. Plus, we would also want to look at adding traffic jam assist, which can virtually drive this Vauxhall for you in urban queues. On to practicalities. Now, as we told you in our market section, there are 3 wheelbase lengths, L2, L3, which is what we have here, and super long L4. And you can get 3 roof height formats too, H1, H2, which is what we have here, and high roof H3. On to gross vehicle weight. This Movano Electric only comes in 4250 4.25 tonne gross vehicle weight form. So let's pull back these double rear doors here. They open out to 180 degrees. A 270-degree opening system is optional. And then let's get on to this Vauxhall's load dimensions. Load area length is 3,705 mils in this L3 and as much as 4,070 mils in the longest L4 variant. With all body shapes, there's 1,870 mils of load area width, narrowing to 1,422 between the wheel arches. Load area height is 1,932 mils with the H2 version and as much as 2,172 mils with the H3. Across the mainstream part of the range, with the 2 longest wheelbases and the 2 highest body heights, loading capacity that varies between 11.5 cubic meters and as much as 17 cubic meters. This typical L3 H2 version can take 13 cubic meters. If you're opting for this Movano Electric, you'll be pleased to find that the EV powertrain doesn't compromise load volume. That's because the drive system's lithium-ion battery is mounted under the floor between the front and rear axle, and so it doesn't impinge on the cargo bay. You might think that choosing an electric van instead of a diesel one would really mean the need to compromise a bit on payload, which for this Movano Electric is restricted to between 1,385 kilos and 1,770 kilos depending on variant. For this L3 H2 variant, it's 1,460 kilos. Actually though, that's slightly more than an equivalent manual gearbox diesel Movano with the same L3 H2 body shape. That's rated at 1,425 kilos. Other large EV class vans do better though. An equivalent electric Renault Master E-Tech manages 1,625. The payload advantage of choosing a Movano in diesel form is that it's possible to get that version that could take much more. The biggest L4 H2 diesel can take up to 2,030 kilos. All Movanos get this single sliding side door. A second one on the other side is optional. It pulls back to reveal an aperture 1,250 mils wide, so a forklift could get a pallet in. The aperture height is 1,485 mils with the rare H1 version. It's more likely to be 1,755 mils high, which is what you get with this H2 or with the H3 body shape. There's usual full height bulkhead, but no option for flap that would let you push lengthy items into the cab. Above that bulkhead is a wide shelf, a very useful place to store the charging leads in the electric version actually. Only 2 dim lights are provided. We'd want the optional LED lighting, but Vauxhall does provide plenty of tie-down points. There are no fewer than 15 of those on this L3 H2 model. You might also want to add the optional 230 volt socket that helps to easily charge electric devices like laptops, electric tool batteries, tablets and other low power appliances which require electricity up to 150 watts. Well, obviously the WLTP EV range figures from this Vauxhall's 110 kilowatt hour battery, only 97.8 kilowatt hours of which is actually usable, depend on the body shape you've chosen, anything between 235 and 262 miles according to WLTP figures. It's 263 miles for this L3H2 version. As with all EV vans, that'll rise substantially in city only use, of course, in this case to as much as 313 miles. This Movano Electric is the first Vauxhall to offer the option of public DC charging with up to 150 kilowatts. As a result, at a public fast charging station, it only takes 55 minutes to recharge to 80% of the battery capacity. AC charging is now aided by the standard inclusion of an 11 kilowatt onboard charger. If you can three-phase charge from an 11 kilowatt wall box, you can replenish the entire battery in 11 hours and 45 minutes. That's down from the lengthy 16 hours 40-minute time that you'd need for a more typical single-phase 7.4 kilowatt AC wall box. A dedicated electric vehicle part of the central screen enables you to plan your charging regime, and it also includes a power flow graphic. The service intervals for this Movano Electric, though, are much more frequent than those of the diesel, every year or 16,000 miles, whichever again comes first. All Movanos get the usual unremarkable 3-year 100,000 mile Vauxhall warranty, and this Movano Electric also has an 8-year 100,000 mile warranty for the drive battery. This much improved Movano Electric will please a significantly larger segment of the market for large all-electric LCVs. The bigger battery of this updated model has brought a much more credible level of EV range, and both payload and towing capacity have been significantly improved as well. Whether all of this is enough to justify the considerable price premium that this EV model demands over its diesel stablemate, well, that's a decision only you can make. In future, shared Stellantis Group engineering will allow Vauxhall to offer even more competitive all-electric large vans than this one. But if your fleet needs a big, full battery LCV right now and space takes priority over weight, then this one should probably now be on your list.